Good morning, children. So, today I am going to start with a new lesson. The name of our lesson is The World in a Wall, written by Grillal. This is an extract that is taken from Grillal book, My Family and Other Animals. When Dural was young, his family lived in a villa on a Greek island of Corfu. This was a time of bliss for him, for he did not go to school, but roam around the countryside at will. He befriended the many creatures he came across the road of his experience with a touch of humor. He used to run a zoo in the Jersey Island, having brought animals there from all over the world. Okay, students? So, this excerpt is about an author. And what is the name of an author? Durals. Okay, now instead of going to a school, what he used to do? He used to roam around in the entire countryside. For what? To make a friendship with the different creatures. And when he has grown up, he has set up a zoo where in the Jersey Island, and the animals were kept in the zoo were from all over the world. So let us see the lesson. The crumbling wall that surrounded the sunken garden alongside the house was a rich hunting ground for me. The crumbling wall means the wall which was been broken, the plasters has been come out. Okay. It was an ancient brick wall that has been plastered over, but now this outer skin was green with moss, plugging and sagging. Now you might have seen some of the walls which are not been properly painted and remain as it is, mainly the outer sides of the buildings. So you can see a green color like a small trees, they are called a moss, and other things that are developed around the walls, okay. Damp on many winter. The whole surface was an integrated map of crack. Integrated means what? Complicated. There were lots of crack on the wall, some several inches wide, other as fine as hair. The inhabitants of the wall were a mixed lot, and they were divided into day and night worker, the hunter and the hunted. The inhabited means, now you might have seen in the crack, yes, you might have observed different types of the creatures, snails, earthworm, scorpio, all are ants, yes, all are present there. Some are hunting one another, okay. But the sixth and the most self-etching on the world community were the most dangerous. You hardly ever saw one unless you look for it. And yet there must have been several hundred living in the cracks of the world. But sometimes what happened, children? The models, they're drawing attention of oneself. Okay, there may be some community which are present in the crack of the wall. They are too dangerous for the human being. Okay. And yet there must have been several hundred living in the crack of the world. Not only one, there may be so many of them. Slide the knife blade carefully under the piece of the loose plaster and level it gently away from the brick. Then they are crouching beneath. Put a little black scorpion, an inch long, looking as though he were made out of polished chocolate. So if you take a knife and scrambling on those cracks, and if you remove the bricks from that crack, what you can find? You can even find a scorpio. Yes, you know, it is known in Hindi, it is known as bichu. And some scorpio are brown in color, some scorpio are black in color. You might have seen in your Discovery channels, right? Even in our house also, sometime during a rainy season we can find it. They were wilder looking things. Wilder looking things means strange in appearance. The person will get fear, okay? With their flattened oval bodies, their net, crooked leg, and innumerable crab-like claw, bulbous and neatly joined as armor. That means a round, bulging, and swollen. Children, have you seen a scorpio anytime? Practically, have you seen the Scorpio? Yes, you might have seen during just now I told you, whenever during a rainy season, your parents may say, oh, don't go in that jungle side or that side, there may be a snake or other creatures. So, there may be a Scorpio, and how the Scorpio looks, their bodies are oval in shape, just now I told you, they might be a black or green in colors, and they used to crawl like a crabs only. If you have seen the crabs, they had two big legs which they used to cut it off, right? The Scorpio would lie there quietly as you examine him. Only raising his tail is an almost apologetic gesture of warming. So in a picture here you can see the Scorpio, yes? These are their tails, and at the end of the tail there is a poison. Now there is a legs, and these two legs or the hand are being used to catch the prey, okay? The Scorpio would lie there quietly as you examine him, only raising his tail in an almost apologetic gesture of warning. If you breathe too hard on him, if you kept him in the sun too long, he would simply turn his back on you and walked away, and then slide slowly but firmly under another section of plaster. I grew very fond of this Scorpio. I found them to be pleasant. Now author was very fond of Scorpio. They found it very pleasant. Okay, very cooling and unamusing. Unamusing means very shy and modest. Then according to him, the Scorpio is a very shy and modest type of an animal or creature. On the whole, the most charming habit, provided you did nothing silly or clumsy like putting your hand on one. The Scorpio treat you with a respect, their one desire being to get away and hide as quickly as possible. So according to the author, the Scorpio is one of the creatures who respect the human being, who will respect you. If the Scorpio will come in front of you, so instead of harming you, it will turn back and hide himself in the crack. They must have found me rather a trial, for I was always ripping section of this plaster away, so that I could watch them or capturing them and making them walk about in jam jars so that I could see the way their feet move. Now, this is another hobby, you can say, of the author. Okay, so what he wants to do, he wants to catch one of the Scorpio and put it inside the jam jar, okay, inside the jar. Why? So that he can observe how the Scorpio move his legs. By the means of my sudden and unexpected assaults on the wall, I discovered quite a bit about the scorpions. I found out that they would eat blue bottles, that is a kind of fly. So what they like to eat? Blue bottles. Though how they caught them was a mystery. I never solved. That means how they used to catch the blue bottles, the fly. That was a mystery because the author was unable to solve it. Grasshopper, moose and lurchings fly. Several times I found them eating each other. A habit I found most distressing in a creature otherwise so amiable. Amiable means a well-mannered and perfect. Okay. One day I found a fat female scorpion in the world, wearing what at first glance appeared to be pale, fawn, fur coat. That means a light brown in color. So one day what the author has found? Author has found a very fat scorpion. Where it was? It was in the wall. And how was his appearance? It was brown in color. Closer inspection proved that this strange garment was made up of a mass of teeny baby clenching on the mother back. So what was that? When the author has observed very clearly to the scorpion, he found that was a fur coat was the teeny scorpion, the baby of the scorpion. Okay, there is a mass of teeny of the baby scorpion, and what they were doing? They were clenching on the back of the mother. I was enraptured by this family. Enraptured means very thrilled. And I made up my mind to smuggle them into the house and up to my bedroom so that I might keep them and watch them grow up. Now this was a very unnatural thing. No one likes to keep the Scorpio in their house, na? So what the author thought? To take the Scorpio in their house and mainly to keep it in the bedroom so that he can watch regularly the habit of the Scorpion, how they grow. With infant care, I maneuvered the mother and family into a match box. What the author did, the author pronounced, moved skillfully and carefully, okay, the mother, and he brought the baby in a matchbox and hurried to the villa. It was rather unfortunate that just I entered the door, lunch should be served. So, as soon as the author has entered the door, the entire family was ready for the lunch. However, I placed the matchbox carefully on the mantelpiece in the drawing room so that the Scorpio should get plenty of air, and made my way to the dining room. So what the author did? The author had put the matchbox on the table near the window where they can get enough air, and he moved towards the dining table so that he can have his lunch and join the family for the meal. Dawdling over my food. Dawdling means to do something or slowly taking more than time. Okay? Feeding Roger superstitiously. Superstitiously means secretly under the table and listening to the family argument. That means he also has a dog, and slowly he was secretly feeding his dog. I completely forgot about my exciting new capture. At last Larry, having finished, picked up the matchbox he had brought, obviously, of my impending doom. I watched him intensely, as still talking glibly, he opened the matchbox. Now, author has really forgotten about the new capture, about the new family member whom he has brought into the house. Now who has taken it? Larry. Okay, as he has finished up his meal, what he did? He excitedly opened the matchbox. Okay, and he was totally unaware about what was the thing was inside the matchbox, and usually unpleasant, that is about to, and he was unaware or unpleasant what is going to happen in future. Now I maintain to this day that a female scorpion meant no harm. She was agitated and thrilled, annoyed to being shut up in the matchbox for so long, and so she seized the first opportunity to escape. Now, the author say that he had maintained the days of, he has realized the female scorpion, instead of biting the someone, the female scorpion was really fed up of what he got agitated, of remaining in a matchbox for such a long period of time. Okay? She hoisted herself out of the box with a great rapidly, her babies clinging on desperately and scuttled on the back of Larry's hand. So she just hoisted, that means she just noised or raised herself out of the box, and rapidly as she was doing, what happened? The baby scorpion has spread up. Scuttle means spread up, we can say. Okay, on the Larry's hand. They are not quite certain what to do next. She posed her string curve up ready. Rarely feeling the movement of her calls, glanced down to see what it was, and from that moment things got increasingly confused. He uttered a roar of fright that made Loretta drop a plate and brought Roger out from beneath the table, barkingly wildly. With a flick of his hand, he sent the unfortunate scorpion flying down the table, and she landed midway between Margot and Leslie, scattering babies like confetti. Confetti means what, children? Like a small piece of colored paper thrown for the celebration. That means everything started scattering around near the dining table. Truly enraged at his treatment, the creature sped toward Leslie and her sting quivering with emotion. Leslie slipped to his feet, overturning his chair, and flicked out desperately with the napkin, sending the scorpion rolling across the cloth toward Margot, who promptly let out a scream that a railway engine would have been proud to produce. Now, due to this hustle and bustle, what happened? The scorpions started crawling all over the dining room, over their clothes, over the napkin, everywhere, and there was a lot of a sound which could have scared the noise of the engine. Mother, completely bewildered by the sudden and rapid change from the piece of chores. Piece of chores means what you can say, confusion. Put on her glass and peered down the table to see what was causing a pandemonium. Pandemonium means wild and noisy confusion. Now mother was totally confused and puzzled. Then why suddenly the peace had changed into a violence? Why there was such a noise in the dining table? What is going on? Margot, in a vain attempt to stop the scorpion's advance, hurled a glass of water at it. The shower missed the animal completely, but successfully drenched. Mother, who not being able to stand cold water, prominently lost her breath and sat gasping at the end of the table. Unable even to protest, the scorpion had now gone to ground under Leslie's plate, when her baby swam wildly all over the table. Roger, mischieved by the panic means utterly perplexed, but determined to do his share, ran round and round the room, barking hesitantly. So what the mother did? The mother had put the water on the animal, okay? But unfortunately, the water has placed over himself on the mother only, and mother was started shivering on a cold. She could not say anything. She was just sitting at the corner of the table. There was a panic among each and every member of the family. Hit that blasted boy again, beloved Larry. Look out, they are coming, screamed Margot. All we need is a book, roared Leslie. Don't panic. Hit with a book. What on the earth the matter with you all? Mother Kate, embroiling, mopping her glasses. That boy will kill the lot of us. Look at the table, cane deep in scorpion. Quick, do something. Look out. Stop screeching and get a book for God's sake. You are worse than a dog. Shut up, Roger. Since no one had bothered to explain things to him, Roger was under the mistaken impression that the family were being attacked, and that it was his duty to defend them. As Loretta was the only stranger in the room, he came to the logical conclusion that she must be the responsible party, so he bit her in the ankle. This did not help matter very much. By the time a certain amount of order had been resorted, all the baby scorpions had hidden themselves under the various plates and bits of cutlery. Eventually, after impassioned means passionate, Peels of my part backed up my mother's suggestion that the whole of the slaughter was quest, that means killed, while the family, still shimmering with the rage and frightened, retired to the drawing room. I spent half an hour rounding up the babies, picking them up in a teaspoon and returning them to their mother back. So what the author was doing? Author was just waiting for half an hour so that the Scorpio can settle down, and slowly he has collected all the scorpion on a plate and also the mother scorpion. Then I carry them outside on the saucer and within the utmost reluctant release them on the garden wall. Roger and I went and spent the afternoon on the hillside, for I felt it would be prudent to allow the family to have a siesta means afternoon nap, before seeing them again. The result of this incident were numerous. Larry developed a phobia about matchbox and opened them with the utmost cautions, a handkerchief wrapped around his hand. Lucretia limped round the house, her ankle enveloped in yard of bandage for a week after the bite had held it. But from my point of view, the worst repercussions of the whole affair was that mother decided I was running wild again, and it was the high time I receive a little more education. So student, now I will use the grammar. Connectors. What is a connector? Connectors do not simply join the sentence together, but they also show how the ideas are related. So you can see here the highlighted words, so that, and, however, okay. So make a note of a connector used in these sentences. She is a dancer and a choreographer. She is both a dancer and a choreographer, okay. She is dancer as well as a choreographer. In addition to being a dancer, she is also a choreographer. She is not only a wonderful dancer but also a fantastic choreographer. She is a good dancer but a better choreographer. Now choose the correct connector from the bracket. I have never visited Australia in spite of having many friends and relatives there. Once you have finished your milk, you can go out to play. I want the ice cream. On the other hand, I am afraid I will catch a cold. We had a lovely Christmas despite you trying to ruin it all. You have got to choose either the red shirt or the blue one because you can't have both. Now, homophones. Complete the sentence with the right word from the bracket. Little Miss Muffet was eating her curds and way. He sees many things when he travels overseas. He poked his eye by accident. To be able to voice my opinion is my fundamental right. The state of the sight after the flood was such a painful sight. He saw the lion pause just before it pounced. Please bring the meat when we meet this evening. He played both the fluent and the live. Okay. Now here are some of the dictionary's words and the meaning. Bouch, a tree branch. Scent, a usually present fragrance. Canvas, thick wood. Cent, a type of currency. Principle, a head of the institution. Bow, bend in the submission or the worship. Ascent, the act of climbing or moving upward. Principle, the rule, raw and general truth. Canvas, material on which a painting is done. Assent, agree or give official approval for something. So student, you might have understood the lesson and the grammar part. So we will meet you on the next session. Have a good day.